Hey, welcome World Entertainment, and of course Stranger Things came and went like a thud. You had all the conformity gate crap coming out about, oh, there's actually a secret episode, and to some people, an actual season 5, that this wasn't how it actually ended. Well, how do you want to make things go from bad to worse when it comes to how the show ended? Oh, I know. Put out a documentary on Netflix that shows you that the final started filming without a finished script, where people were saying we don't even fully know what's going on, because that's what Netflix just did. They've just released a Stranger Things final documentary, showcased how they actually were making the final episode. They didn't even have a script for the bloody thing. Yeah, so people thought there was going to be a secret episode. They filmed the last episode without a script. So let's dive into this, because again, this is just how you make things worse, and everyone seems to be absolutely blown away that Netflix even put this thing out. So it says, one last adventure, the making of Stranger Things 5, premiered on Netflix earlier today. The documentary follows filmmaker Martina Rodwin as she takes a deep dive behind the scenes of the hit show's send-off. The feature-length final episode has split opinions, with many fans expressing disappointment about how the story ended. In news likely to only heighten frustrations with the final, the documentary confirms that The Right Side Up began shooting without a finished script. Creators and showrunners Matt and Ross Duffer are featured discussing how production started on both the season and the series final without the ending being put on paper. So Matt Duffer says, "It's not like we don't know what the ending is. It's all plotted out. I have to write it, and we're just low on time." So later we jump to around the halfway point of filming, where it's confirmed that episode 8's script still wasn't done. Set production assistant Montana Messascalano or something like that tells the camera at one point, "We are shooting episode 8, which isn't completely written yet. Spoiler alert, so we don't even fully know what's going on." So Matt later acknowledges that he's unhappy with how things are going. So he said this, "I've never read 8 through, and we're just shooting it. I've never done anything like this before. This is so weird jumping to 8. Don't love it. I don't love it." So that's not a great sign either for this thing. So in a sit-down interview, he elaborated, "We were getting hammered constantly by production and by Netflix for episode 8. It was the most difficult writing circumstances we've ever found ourselves in. Not just because there was the pressure of we had to make sure the script was good, but there's never been so much noise at the same time." So this will surely bring the conformity gate theories to an end, as the Duffer brothers barely had time to write the final we got, never mind a secret extra episode meant to reveal what really happened. It's common for Marvel movies to shoot without finished scripts. Avengers Doomsday reportedly didn't have an ending when cameras started rolling. An ending? They didn't have a beginning or a middle, never mind the end. But this clearly isn't the process the Duffer brothers were familiar or overly comfortable with. Does this explain the issues fans had with the Stranger Things final? It may go some way in addressing the show's problems in its final year, and it's strange that Netflix was happy to publicly reveal this production issue in an officially released documentary. And that is the thing, why would you release this? Especially now. It's one thing to do it in a year or 2 years time, but the fact that you've done it now, that makes absolutely no sense. And the fact that they were halfway through filming, they said, "Oh, we know how it ends, we just haven't put pen to paper yet to write that out for people." The fact that, well, clearly you didn't, because you were halfway through filming the thing, you still didn't have a finished script, and you were already saying you're not happy with how things are going, how the story looks, and how it is. So it's like, we're working on this script and stuff, but we don't like it, even though you're halfway through filming the bloody episode. So it just sounds like this thing was a disaster. And we're starting to see this happen a little too often now, where, hey, let's just write it with a script and we'll just fix it in editing and stuff like that. It's like, are you kidding me? Here's the thing, and you have to remember this, because a lot of people don't. When The Force Awakens was getting made, if you remember, they ended up behind schedule, that things weren't going so smoothly. And Bob Iger was the one who said, I don't care whether the thing is finished or not, I want it out in May. And actually, to her credit, Kathleen Kennedy was like, no, Bob, seriously, we need to push this thing back. Now, she didn't mean months and months, but she was asking for, like, just at least give us an extra 2 months. Iger was like, no. And then he caved. They must have just shown him how bad things were, but he caved and pushed it to December. That's how it got to December. They were that far behind that they were editing the movie while filming the movie. Do you remember that? J.J. Abrams even come out and said that, where it was like we were shooting scenes, and as we were setting up for the next scene, we were already editing that scene. So this idea of people having these completed scripts and filming, which, you know, should be how all things are done, has seemingly become this thing of, oh, well, if we don't have a finished script, well, let's just wing it, and then we'll try and fix it in post. It's like, are you stupid? Like, you can't do that, especially when it's a final. Like, oh, it's our very last episode we're ever gonna make. Here's what we'll do. We'll wing it. You know, we'll try and write it as we go along. And the fact that they're saying halfway through filming the final episode, which means they already did the first hour, they still hadn't got a script handed to them. So these people were filming all this garbage and had no idea, which is probably why everything got wrapped up so quickly. And then the last hour was just a gigantic bloody monologue, basically. It was like, oh, so really? You just bet back it that quickly and stuff like that? Oh, okay. That clearly meant they hadn't a clue. So it's not a good look. And when you have fans frustrated and pissed off, and other ones that are so pissed off with it that they came up with this idea that there's actually another episode, maybe even an actual season 5 to really answer what happened in this show. To go that far into things, to now find out that Netflix puts out a documentary that shows you, no, they didn't even know what they were doing with the last episode, never mind making secret episodes. That's not great. And again, that's going to hurt the Duffer Brothers when it comes to Paramount's deal with them, because Paramount could look at this now and go like, oh God, like, are they serious? They wrote the final episode of the biggest show on Netflix's history and they didn't even have a script. And then when they were starting to write bits of a script, well, halfway through filming, they weren't happy with what they had filmed and what the script was. Like, that's not great. So you're going to have to let me know what you guys think of this. Like, are you surprised about this? Do you think it lines up? Do you think Netflix did the biggest, dumbest thing they possibly could have done by releasing this documentary now? Let me know what your thoughts are on all this. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like, share, subscribe, hit the hype button, check out memberships. You know the drill. Cheers. Catch you in the next one.